15 minutes left in regulation, 35-28 Utah State, and the Aggies about to get the football back, and they should get good field position. Riley Erickson to punt. He'll hit it around his own 10-yard line. Jordan Nathan will try to return it. He slips a tackler, and he'll have it across midfield. Nathan still going to the 35-yard line. Another nifty play by Jordan Nathan. A redshirt freshman from Monrovia, California. Dalton Baker on special teams knocked him out of bounds. Downstairs we go, Brad Thompson once again.
Guys, there's a lot of momentum with this program at UNLV. The Raiders are coming. They're going to play in that stadium when it's built. But what people don't know about is the practice facilities coming in. $22 million, 73,000 square foot facility is being built. Hopes to be completed next year by next December. But it's a sweet deal, big deal in recruiting.
Huge deal. Love on a 9 route. Great coverage as he tried to get it down the field. That was Dax Raymond, and he was covered in the secondary by the safety, Chauncey Sissom.
We run that same play down right in front of us.
You know, Brad talking about the new facilities that'll be complete next autumn for UNLV. That's huge. I mean, that is a huge deal for Tony Sanchez for recruiting. And that's complete to the 30-yard line. That is Van Leeuwen.
It's a game changer, Drew. You know how kids, I mean, you need those programs.
Like new and shiny.
They like new and shiny. They need a place where they can lift, eat, have their own locker rooms, have their own, I mean, all these things that are going to be in there.
Oh, right up the middle. This is going for 6 for Lawan Hunt. On 3rd and short, he gets 30, and it's a 2-touchdown lead for Utah State.
That's a great job on the left side of the line. I think it's Roman Andrus. Comes off late, but he's able to come off just in time to pick up the Will linebacker.
Dominic Eberle, true with the extra point. It is 42-28. Once he broke, there was nobody home in the middle of the field. 28 unanswered points. Utah State, 4 consecutive touchdowns after UNLV had opened up a 28-14 lead, and now let's see what the Rebels can do. Still plenty of time, 14-15 to go in the 4th quarter. Drew Goodman, Sed Bonner, and Brad Thompson, along with the rest of our AT&T Sportsnet crew from Sam Boyd Stadium as the sun beginning to set here in the Valley. This is on through the end zone. Well, Lawan Hunt has 92 yards rushing. He came in with a little over 300. He's found the end zone this afternoon a few times. And this last one, short yardage play, and he busted it up the gut. Lawan Hunt's best season on the ground came 4 years ago as a freshman when he ran for 440 yards. He was a guy that was, and you love having kids like a Lawan Hunt, because he put the loss last week for Utah State against Wyoming on his shoulders because he fumbled late in the football game. And Matt Wells quickly came to his defense and said, absolutely, I'll have none of that. He said, this is a guy who's had unbelievable ball security in his career. He's helped us win a lot of football games. He says there are a lot of different reasons we lost that game. Did that ball come out? Utah State thinks so.
Ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by Utah State. First down.
And they'll look at it. They'll definitely take a look at this, but it's Palandek. He's fighting for extra yards.
Knees down.
The ball just came out there, so
Yeah.
I don't think this. I think this will be overturned. Knees down, and then the ball comes out.
The question is, and this is where it gets dicey. Was the ball loose and coming out before the knee touches?
Watch his left hand. He's got it in his left hand the entire time. Can't see it from that one, but you can see the other angle. It's in his left hand the entire time, and his knee goes down. Watch the left hand right there. You see it still in his left hand. Knees down, and then watch the ball will pop right now.
Yeah, but the question is, was it already coming out? And is there?
It's just now coming all the way out of his hand.
Yeah.
Like it was in his left hand.
It's tough. Is there overwhelming enough evidence to turn it around because the call was fumble?
Right there. Right there. That's the best shot right there. That forward shot. But we shall see.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It was a fumble covered by Utah State. First down.
That is enormous. Now a short field for Utah State. They have all the momentum, and they have a 2-touchdown lead. Sanchez just looks down.
It seems like that defense for the Aggies has just gotten stronger and stronger as the game's gone on.
Well, they haven't made a play talking about UNLV in the pass game to loosen them up. And now pickup of 7 yards for Lawan Hunt.
Well, listen, even in the first half,
he's within a yard of 1,000, or excuse me, of 100. 1,000 would be a lot for today.
That would be some kind of record.
That would be a record.
Listen, even when Armani Rogers was in there, he was 5 of 12. So it wasn't like he was dominating the passing game.
That's a completion for no gain as Raymond caught it in the flat and was dropped immediately.
But see, it's not a wasted play. I mean, you didn't get many yards on it. It's not a wasted play. You still got something.
And Hunt hurdles, throws his body across the 20 to the 18-yard line. First down yardage for Hunt.
And what did Coach Yost talk about him, saying that he's a guy that can't really practice until after Wednesday because he's so beat up. It takes such a pounding.
He took a few licks on that play, finished off by the defensive end, Jameer Outsey.
Second and 12.
This is similar, I think, for UNLV fans from last week, where they had a tremendous first half offensively. In the second half, they looked like a different team.
It's exactly the same. I was on that game. Only difference is Armani Rogers didn't get knocked out of the game last week.
Love, Raymond, inside the 10, first down to the 7. First and goal, Utah State.
Called for this earlier. You got a big, long, lanky tight end that can run. You can put some pressure, Javen White with the tackle, but not until after.
And here's Love. He's dropped at the 6-yard line. Nice open field tackle by Johnny Stanton. That's right, Johnny Stanton, for UNLV fans, the former quarterback. He's playing some linebacker now. And before the ball game, he was throwing the football with the other quarterbacks. And he has quarterback shoulder pads on the sideline, but he's got the big boy shoulder pads on right now.
He looks every bit of a linebacker.
He looks like a linebacker. He doesn't look like a quarterback. Hunt, nowhere to go. Good defense, and there's Javen White coming up, making another tackle. It's a loss of a couple of yards, 3rd and goal. He had a block punt against San Jose State. Talking about Johnny Stanton, he went to Coach Sanchez and said, listen, he goes, I'm a senior. He goes, I'm obviously not playing quarterback. He goes, I'm a good athlete. Let me do something to help the team. and he's a great athlete. He has a 43-inch vertical.
He is a strong dude.
Originally a Nebraska recruit, one of the top high school quarterbacks in the country when he initially played for the Cornhuskers. Third down, Love, and this is out of the back of the end zone. Incomplete.
You can't throw it out of the back, just give him a chance.
We're looking to Dax Raymond, tight coverage from Jericho Flowers, and UNLV will hold Utah State to a field goal attempt.
There's still plenty of time to get this momentum to swing, but they got to figure out something on offense. They got to get Kurt Palandek confident enough to complete some passes here, because he's going to have to. They're not going to allow you to run the ball.
This is a good-looking kicker, by the way, Dominic Everly, and he punches that one right through there. He's missed only one kick all year. He's 29 of 29 on extra points, and he's 14 out of 15 now on field goals. Everly extends Utah State's lead to 45-28 as we take a look at the upcoming schedules. Brought to you by Quicken Loans. For Utah State, they will have Boise State next week at home. That'll be an interesting matchup. Then we'll see them in Albuquerque against the Lobos. Hawaii and Air Force also remain on the schedule for Matt Wells. And for Tony Sanchez, who's always teaching, always coaching, always words of wisdom, we'll see them next week, and they'll be in Fresno against the Bulldogs. Hawaii, BYU at home. They'll be in Albuquerque, and then we'll see them in the interstate battle against Nevada. We'll have that after Thanksgiving.
Well, I think, you know, in the next 3-4 weeks, we'll see how good Fresno State really is. We know they're much improved, but we'll see them be challenged over the next few weeks, especially with their 2-0 start in conference play.
That is going, was angled very close to going out of bounds, and it did not. So Everly's kickoff, another touchback for UNLV with 10:53 left. They have enough time, but they need to start scoring points. Down by 17.
Well, they got to start getting first downs first. I mean, you want to throw the ball, throw it early downs, especially with a guy that's not comfortable. And we're still trying to figure out, you've got one of the best receivers, I don't want to just say in this conference, but possibly in the nation. Like, he's a great receiver, Vontae Boyd, right here, 0 catches.
And that's, the run game has gone nowhere the last few possessions.
And the Aggies are just gaining more and more confident.
That's Devon Anderson making the tackle for maybe a loss of a couple of feet. He's had a good ball game, 91.
And it's 46 yards in the second half.
Palandek, and that is broken up. Cameron Haney, it's his second PBU of the ball game. Pass breakup, Darren Woods the intended target. And now it's 3rd and 10.
He's trying to throw the option route outside. If he just throws it out there earlier, he's a little bit late, he looks at it, then he hitches and throws. You take 5, no hitch, and let that thing fly. That's a long throw. When you don't have the type of arm that Armani Rogers does, you got to get that ball out as fast as possible.
Max protection, and the throw is incomplete, but 2 flags in. This will be interference. Kendall Keys one-on-one with Gage Ferguson.
That's pretty good competition there. It is pass interference because Keys is trying to play back for the ball, but can't get to it because Gage is running through his chest.
Pass interference, number 23, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
It's a good call. You see just a wheel route. And right there, he's pushing on him as he's trying to go up and get the ball.
The hand fighting has to discontinue after 5 yards.
And I don't even mind that so much. I'd rather see a receiver fight off of it. But if he's turning to go up for the ball and you're already pushing him, they're going to make that call every time.
Xavier Campbell drives ahead for almost 5 yards. Campbell's had a nice ball game. Jamarcus Ingram will get credit for the tackle. Palandek rolling, and the throw again a little tardy. It's complete for about 3 yards to Tim Holt.
They're completely reading that the wrong way.
It's Haney down.
And you've talked about it all day. What levels are you reading that through? But you can see his eyes are fixed downfield. Instead of getting it to his flat right now, that's like his check down. Well, by the time you come down to him, you see there's a guy there waiting on him to make him pay for the catch.
While they work on Haney, UNLV gathers on the sideline. They'll have a 3rd down and a long 2. Utah State, we've talked about UNLV being in transition. This year for the Aggies, they've had 20 players make their first career start. And to give you perspective on that, that's the 7th most in the nation in terms of number of guys making their first career start. They continue to work on Cameron Haney. He's a sophomore from Cathedral High School in Los Angeles. This is the 3rd young man that we've seen with what appears to be a head injury this afternoon.
Well, we're hoping it's no more than a stinger. He was moving around down there. Sometimes you're hitting those big tight ends, especially down around the hip and leg area.
Also, as you well know, said, when you're working in the slot area, and Haney sometimes covering the slot, there's bodies flying from outside, from both shoulders, if you will. So Haney now is up and making his way off the field. As we resume, it's 3rd down and 2 for the Rebels. (28-28) at halftime, 17-0 second half for Utah State. Thomas, who had the brilliant first half, I think got enough. He's still on his feet. Now he definitely has enough. That kid will not go down.
He is a scrapper. And now Dallin Levitt looks like cramps.
Dallin Levitt making the tackle on the play, and officials timeout.
He just spun out of there. Something tells me Levitt won't be out for long. First down for UNLV. Palandek pumps, now he's going to run it. Got a chance right there to see a little bit of his speed. Broke a tackle, got to the 35-yard line.
We're trying to run the fake bubble screen. Good job by the Aggies staying home with depth. But on the backside, you've got to keep him in the pocket, force him to throw it. Can't let him bounce outside.
Thomas just a yard or two.
Picks up 2 yards.
Adewale Adeoye made the tackle. 55, the junior from St. Louis, Missouri.
Adewale Adeoye making the tackle.
No gain, 2nd and 10. Clock moving inside 8.5 left. Palandek zips it in the flat, and he'll get a few yards to Brandon Presley.
That's
the
something.
third down coming up. Deontay Fortenberry knocked him out.
RPO here, throws it late, but this is something that they see every day in practice with their squad. They're used to covering that and seeing it. You got trips with 2 high safeties. Should be working the middle of the field here.
There you go, QB draw. Palandek makes a man miss. Cannot make 27. Fortenberry miss, though. And it's going to be 4th down. You have to go for it if you're UNLV.
This is a great tackle.
It's a tremendous open field tackle.
Makes a couple guys miss, but then he gets framed up by Fortenberry. He's lucky he's able to turn himself around, or that could have got ugly.
4th and 3. Thomas on the option. And he skids ahead for a 1st down.
Look at the wake of bodies in white, gray jerseys. I mean, Thomas, 170 pounds, but watch him just fight his way through here.
He's really remarkable. On one knee is Justice Tay. He's a sophomore from Oceanside, California. Utah State recruits heavily in California. For UNLV, I know they have 11 kids that have verbally committed, which is way ahead of their normal pace, shall we say. And I know Coach Sanchez is very pleased with that.
Well, I mean, every time I get a chance to visit with Coach Sanchez, I want to sit there longer.
Yeah, you feel uplifted when you leave the room.
I just want to sit there longer, so I'm sure he's doing a great job. And listen, it's got to be tough for him. You won 85 games. I don't care what level it is. You were 85-5 or 85-3 when you came in here.
Right. I mean, it
takes a lot.
It got national attention.
Come on.
Here's something. He has a message for his kids every week. We're going to go back to this. We're throwing it up right now. 5 reasons why players fail to reach their full potential. That was his theme this week. We'll get back to it in a moment. They got to snap the football here, 1st and 10. Palandek.
Some air on the ball. You know
Good
you've
coverage.
got the wheel route. Put some air on it.
Kendall Keys was well covered. I want to go back to what Coach was talking about this week. He said the 5 reasons players fail to reach their full potential: work ethic, motor, being coachable, taking coaching, being self-centered, and then buying into the negativity. And that, to me, that really struck a chord, because you have a program that doesn't have a great football tradition. He's trying to turn it around. And there can be, especially in these social media times, that's going to be picked off. And look who it is, the guy who went off the field about 3 snaps ago. Dallin Levitt with the interception. And that could be one of those ones that seals the deal for Utah State. The pick at the 8-yard line as UNLV was on the move. For Levitt, his 2nd pick of the year. Mountain West football on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Dodge Ram, Guts Glory Ram. By KFC, try KFC's $5 fill-ups. They are finger-licking good. And by Mako, turn the car you drive into the car you love. Utah State with the football. They're going to try to work clock, but they're getting large chunks of yardage. That is Trey Miller up the gut for about a dozen yards. First carry for Miller. He's a true freshman from St. George, Utah. He's a big kid, 6'1", 215, and Javen White, who's had a nice ball game, is getting attended to. At one point in this football game, it looked like UNLV was going to run away and hide. Utah State had no answer for the running game led by Armani Rogers. Then Armani went down late in the first half. And unfortunately, UNLV has gotten nothing done since then with the football. They had 28 with Armani Rogers under center, the redshirt freshman, and they still have 28.
Well, I mean, you go back to the last 2 games, that's 3 points in the second half total.
False start. Number 68, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And you're taking consideration that they had 300 yards rushing in the first half. 300. And haven't been able to keep it moving.
Well, you know, looking forward, as this is 1st and 15 for UNLV, we'll see them next week in Fresno. The big question will be, as Love gains about 10 on that carry. The big question obviously is going to be, will Rogers clear the concussion protocol to be available next week? He is on the sideline. Trey Miller gets within a yard.
It's one of those situations where they've taken his helmet away.
And on 3rd and short, enough for a first down to Miller. There's Armani. He has a Band-Aid. He got cut also on that hit where he was knocked out of the ball game.
Thought it was a little bit of eye black, but it was a cut. Johnny Stanton now making some tackles here.
He's made the last 2, number 4. Ken Bear was saying Love throws it on a deep out cut, and that is complete.
That is well executed.
Alex Byers, just his 4th catch this year, senior from Riverview, Florida.
Watch the play pass and then the rollout with the deep comeback. The ball's low and away, right where you want to throw it on a comeback.
18 yards on the pickup, and now it's Miller as Utah State just methodically moving the football down the field and running clock inside 5:10 to play with the next snap coming.
Kent Myers has started and played a ton of games, but Jordan Love, man, I'll tell you what, redshirt freshman, another young guy, ready to step in and take over. First start, gonna get his first win, barring something crazy.
This redshirt freshman from Bakersfield, California, has been really poised. And it's not the first time he's played. He's played in all but one of the games this year. But this is the first time it's really been his team. Myers played 1 series, did lead him on a short touchdown drive. Miller showing a burst, and he'll have another first down. Johnny Stanton made the tackle yet again.
Talking with Coach Yost, he talked about Miller being one of those guys that's a JUCO transfer that, wow.
That.
Waske, Kolo Waske.
That was
absolutely
a big hit.
Puts the hammer down on Love. Watch this, he showed him no love as he cut right into him. And turnabout's fair play. He gets a free play.
Now the deep shot, it's well covered and incomplete. Now a late flag comes in. See, if that, to me, that's not a catchable football.
That's not.
Thought that was catchable?
Yes. I thought Jericho Flowers grabbed him around the waist.
There's only one foul on the play. Offside, number 94, defense. 5-yard penalty, still second down. There is no foul for defensive pass interference.
See, they listen to me. It's your quarterback, man. You want every flag.
I do. I got the free play. I got the guy jumping offside, so it's a free play for me. That's a good job by Love. You're going to hit me in the face like that, I'm going to get you to jump off sides the next play.
Second and a couple of yards to go for Utah State. 3:43 left in the fourth quarter, 45-28 Aggies.
False start, number 51, offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Here's our CenturyLink high-speed challenge. We asked our poll question in the first half, what's your favorite activity when you go to Las Vegas? Gambling got 41% of the vote. Not, I think, a huge shock. The food, which is now heavy on my mind, said.
Mine as well. You chose shows, though. I know you did.
I forgot to vote, but right now I'm choosing food. Couple yards on second down. So moving forward, UNLV, we've talked about they'll be at Fresno State. And Utah State will have Boise State. And they'll be back to 500 at 4-4. Trying to get bowl eligible. Trey Miller, he's got ability.
Big, strong kid. You look at UNLV's schedule, they've got teams that they feel that they can beat. I mean, Fresno State's got the best record of the bunch, but you've got Fresno State, Hawaii, BYU, New Mexico State, and Nevada. It's doable. This team just needs some good things to happen for them in the second half. It just doesn't seem to happen.
Yeah, they have to put 4 quarters together, as the cliche goes.
Or if you're going to give me 2, give me the bookends. Give me the first quarter and the fourth quarter.
Matt Wells has had talent in his program. They have 14 players currently playing in the NFL. The biggest name, of course, Bobby Wagner, who stays in close touch with the program.
Vigil brothers.
Well, they were fun to watch. They're both on NFL rosters. Gifted.
I mean, they had some players on that defensive side that were dominant, and this is kind of the second half performance that they've turned in is what it looked like week in and week out from 2012 to 2014 with this defense.
Yeah, Kendrick Shaver, the defensive coordinator, we spent a good deal of time with him yesterday. He's going to be real pleased with what they did in the second half. Not so much the first half. They gave up 300 yards on the ground. And inside the 10-yard line with the carry is Justin Hervey. He has had now just 23 carries this year. Young man who had an 80-yard touchdown run last year as part of his sophomore season. Hervey, oh, what a move. Touchdown for Hervey. That was a great move, right in the hole.
But against our guy, Johnny Stanton, gave him the business right in the hole. How quick is this? And watch him freeze the Mike linebacker right there in the hole. That's one of those plays where, you know, we talked to Coach Bear, where he wanted to see him get to a point where he just went. And if he just attacked right there, he makes that tackle, leaves a little too much space.
16 plays, 94 yards. Put the finishing touches on a great second half for Utah State. This afternoon's Drive of the Game brought to you by Toyota. Well, the Drive of the Game was set up by special teams. Wonderful play. This is Jordan Nathan getting to the boundary. A 70-yard punt return ultimately set up this little run from Jordan Love. He's going to get a lot of love from Aggies fans after the ball game.
He was already getting love. You know, the number 2 is always the most popular guy in town. Well, now it's his show. We'll see what he does with it. Yeah, tonight he's been great.
The number 2 quarterback's now the number 1 quarterback in Logan. And that's always a good feeling when you're the head coach and you can take the headset off and start getting hugs all around. Coach Wells' family had to drive down. A lot of coaches did that, about a 7-hour drive from Logan to Las Vegas. Obviously, the team flew in. They run quarterback draw, Palandek. And once again, with 50 seconds left, the big question for UNLV next week, and we'll have the answers to provide you next Saturday when we're in Fresno. Will Armani Rogers be cleared to play, or will it be Palandek?
So he's in the protocol. Without him, you're missing 80 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, a couple big throws.
Keys made a nice catch. You touched on it. Devontae Boyd, unless he catches a football, Keys couldn't make that catch. Devontae Boyd's going to get shut out today.
Take another step. Kendall Keys takes another step. He tries to dive, but if he takes another step, that ball's on his hands. And that's something you've got to make sure your go-to guys are involved in the game. But he is on the sideline, on the 25-yard line, just kind of standing there without his helmet. He was banged up a little bit earlier. And we got rolled up when he was blocking, but just not a good night for him.
4th down, 10 seconds left. And Palandek has his ball bounce up in the air, and it is intercepted. And kind of, that's Ofa Latu, and that pretty much sums up the second half for Utah State and sums up the second half for UNLV. It is a final. What a tremendous second half for the Aggies. They come from 2 touchdowns down in the first half. A convincing 52-28 victory in Las Vegas over Tony Sanchez and UNLV. And our Ace Hardware player of the game, Jordan Love. The redshirt freshman from Bakersfield, California, 19 out of 27, over 300 yards throwing it. And he was very effective running zone read as well. Running the football, Love ended up with 42 yards on the ground, better than 5 yards a carry. Let's go downstairs and check in again. Well, we're not going to check in with Brad Thompson. Get a final thought from Sed.
I loved watching Love play. He was much more efficient in the passing game. Much more efficient in the passing game than Kent Myers had been. And coming in, he had only completed 44% of his passes on the season. He stepped his game up huge today. Made a lot of good throws, timely throws, was accurate, and on time with those throws. When you could do that as well as run the ball the way he started running the ball today, I mean, true dual threat.
He was terrific. Jordan Love leads Utah State over UNLV. 52-28 is the final score. We thank you for watching Mountain West football on AT&T Sportsnet. We invite you to join us again next weekend for more Mountain West action. We'll be in Fresno, California. It'll be the Bulldogs hosting the UNLV Rebels. The action begins at 8 Mountain, 7 out west. For my partner, Sed Bonner, For Brad Thompson and our entire AT&T Sportsnet crew, Drew Goodman saying so long from Las Vegas. This has been a production of AT&T Sportsnet and the Mountain West.